All right, let's take a look at question 2. You can see that some of these are multiplication problems, some of these are division problems. So let's take a look at what this might look like. So I started with this one. I've got 1.3 times 24. Okay, so I can think about this in two ways. I can think about this as, this is not really that much different from a multiplication problem where maybe I just don't even have a decimal point. So, I can just solve this using my standard algorithm. I could use an area model if I wanted to. Okay, but I just solve this using what other, and I just pretend this is like a 2-digit times a 2-digit. And then I say, oh, I did have a decimal in there, so I was doing tenths. I've only got one decimal place. I'm only going to have one decimal place in my answer. I'll have 31.2. You can also think about this in terms of this. This is really 13 tenths, so I'm going to write that like a fraction. This is 24 wholes, so 13 times 24, top times top. Oh, wait, I did 13 times 24 over here, and I got 312. Okay, so that's my numerator, and then denominator times denominator, well, that's 10. Well, 312 tenths, well, I would need a decimal. Look at that. I would have one decimal place because I'm multiplying by tenths. So if we go back and we take a look at these problems, this is tenths times a whole number. Oh, here I've got tenths times hundredths. So even though I have the same digits, a 1 and a 5, a 1 and a 5, a 3 and a 2, a 3 and a 2, I'm going to have the same digits in my answer. This one is going to end up in the tenths place. Well, this one will end up in the thousands place. Okay, let's take a look at a division problem. So here I've got 14 divided by 0.7. So I know what 14 divided by 7 is. Let's pretend that decimal point isn't there for a minute. Okay, 14 divided by 7 is 2. Now, I know my answer is going to have a 2, but I can't ignore that decimal forever. Let's put that back. This is 14 divided by 7 tenths. Okay, so if I rewrite this like a fraction, 14 divided by 7 tenths, I know I can multiply fractions, and I'm not changing this number because I'm going to actually just multiply this by 10 tenths. 10 tenths is the same as 1, so I'm just really multiplying this by 1, but I'm going to turn this then into 140, which is just be 140 tenths, and 7 tenths. I've just gotten rid of that decimal. We can see 140 divided by 7 would be 20. So my answer here is really 20. I can use that basic fact I know, but then I have to think about what I know about place value to make sense of that. Okay, so if I go back to those questions that we had on our test, I can see again a 12, and this is 12 tenths divided by 3 hundredths divided by 3 tenths. So I can use that basic fact I see there, 12 and 3, but I'm going to have to do something different with that place value to make sense of it. If you want to use your place value chart to help you, go right ahead. Down here I've got a decimal and a fraction, so it might either help me to rewrite this fraction like a decimal and use kind of the strategies I did for this one, or I could go ahead and rewrite this as a fraction and apply that algorithm I used in question number 1. Okay, this is the same as the strategy we used for C and D, only I have much larger numbers, so I'm going to have to use some long division strategies to help me with that. Good luck!